Hello, this is ML Bull speaking. Um, Welcome to the first Tea Talk of 2025. In this Tea Talk, I'm going to go over the power of organization and just some real talk and life advice. But before I get into the video, I just want to clarify that this video is not a response to anyone in particular, who may have made certain remarks or insults or whatever, as I have just been minding my own business. So this is not a response to anybody in particular. However, I will be expressing myself and just speaking my truth on various different things. First off, though, I will be discussing some benefits to organization for authors. This is a video that I had wanted to do for a little while, and I think it's one that can really be helpful to other authors, and especially self-published authors, because there is a lot more to writing, as those of us who are in this profession know. There's a lot that you have to keep track of, especially as a self-published author, because in that sense you're not only a writer or author, you're also a publisher. So it's really helpful to be organized with all your information, because that can help to keep you on track. And I'm just going to share a couple of things that I have done for myself that other fellow authors could also do as well if they're interested. One thing that I have done to help with my organization is, first off, just making a planner for myself. There is some authors that purchase planners, but I just decided to create my own planner, just something that I can switch out, every year. That way I don't have to worry about having a whole bunch of stacks of old planners inside of my closet, but that's just me. I may have a planner, for like social media and things like that, but as far as everything else, my publishing process and things like that, I just put all of that inside of my life planner binder, which I showed a video about when I discussed my indie publishing timeline. But that is one thing that you could do, is just create your own planner if you want, where you can keep all of your information in, not only for publishing, but also for other things that you have to do, like daily schedules and things like that, to keep track of all your responsibilities or tasks throughout the day. Another thing that I do is I use Kanban boards. I have one inside of my Notion, and I also have a Kanban board that I have on the wall, which I showed in a video from last year. Based on the one in Notion in my author workspace, based on what I put on there is what determines what I write on my sticky notes and what I then put on the actual physical wall Kanban boards for my quarterly goals, as well as my indie publishing timeline. But that is pretty much how I organize all of my tasks, and it's been really helping, to keep myself on track before I actually had these Kanban boards. I think it's really helpful for authors to be able to set deadline dates, because it can help to keep you motivated and to be able to pace and see your progress. This is not to say that you're going to be able to meet every date that you set for a deadline, but it can help you to keep yourself motivated and be able to get more things done throughout the year. And if you have to do delays or you run into some setbacks for different reasons, you can always change the dates, because it's your system that you created for yourself, I'm just going to get a little bit of tea. It's the first time I had orange spice tea, so just try something different. But yeah, I mean, through life, with everything the way that things are in the mainstream media and all of that, with being productive and all those sorts of things, you also have to face reality as well when it comes to doing tasks and things like that, because things don't always go as planned that we want, even though it can be helpful to be able to organize, and to set deadlines and stuff. Sometimes you may have to delay different things as you want it to do, or change the date. For example, if you set up a pre-order or something and something goes wrong with the ebook conversion or something that you're working on, sometimes authors run into those sorts of situations, and you just have to work around it, even though, it can just be nerve-wracking sometimes when you have to change dates and stuff for like a book release or a project that you are working on and whatnot, but it's just a part of life, We don't always get our way all the time, and it's just important to be able to adjust to change, and to just be able to bounce back, from unfortunate circumstances and stuff, whether based on one's author career or something else, But nonetheless, it's really helpful to stay organized as an author, and especially a self-published author, because there's a lot that you have to keep track of. Another thing that I have done for myself is to make my own publication library in my Notion, as you can see here, where I put in all of the metadata of my books, including the ISBN number, different formats, the original price of my books, and of course the publisher and all those sorts of things, just to keep track of all of my publications and the different formats for each one of my books. Because that can really be helpful as well, just staying organized with all that information. I was originally inspired to make this type of system based on a video that I saw of Michael Laron, and how he keeps track of all of his book information. But I don't really know how to use that system of I can't remember the name of it, but it's one of the Microsoft programs, Atticus, I think it is, something like that. But I don't really know how to properly use that system, so I just decided to make some databases within Notion to keep track of my book publications, and it's been working pretty well. I'm not able to do the actual combinations like you can within Access, or Access, Access. I'm not able to do the combinations like you can in Access to see how much, a particular book made, when making those equations and all of that. But I'm still able to see all of my book identification information, which is still good to have on here as well. But I think it's a good thing for authors to have some type of publication library for themselves of all of their books, which is something that I made for myself. But it's just another thing that self-published authors could do if they're interested in keeping track of all of their publications in one place, because the more books that you come out with, the more complicated it can get, if you don't have all your information listed in one place. But that's just another idea of that fellow self-published authors could also do. But no, it's just really helpful to be organized, and it can just allow you to work more efficiently and professionally, and just having a clean space to work in, on your desk is also important, and just ensure that you keep your desk, your workspace straightened out from time to time, and just, it just can be really helpful, when working on your books to help you to work more better. But that's just all the different tips, I guess, that I have for the power of organization. Another good thing I think to have is like a file cabinet for all of your tax information, so that you can keep all of that in order as well and organized for tax season. So that's something else that I want to include, is to have a file cabinet to help me stay organized with that. But it's just really helpful, again, to stay organized as a self-published author. And even though, you may run into some delays and stuff, I know I have from time to time, but it's still good to use your organization to help keep you on track, because it can still help to keep you on track and to help keep you motivated towards your goals. If one thing has to get delayed, then you can just work on something else, and just still keep yourself moving forward. It's not always easy having to deal with delays and setbacks and stuff, but if you have to, just stay encouraged, and not worry about what others are doing so much, or trying to keep up with other fellow authors or other people in general. Just move at your own pace with doing things, and don't worry about any comparisons or competition. Just focus on trying to better yourself and move at your own pace for your progress, because every author is different, everyone's lives are different, and backgrounds are different, and sometimes we do have to postpone things and whatnot, and it's just beyond our control. People talk about productivity and things like that as if they have control over everything that goes on in their life, but that's not true. Sometimes things happen beyond one's control, and you just have to work your life around it, because just speaking for myself, that's pretty much the life story of me. The story of my life is I've had to deal with a lot of setbacks and sudden changes, and just dealing with a lot of hard times in my life, and like I've made a lot of sacrifices in my life, which is also another reason why things are the way that they are in my life currently, and despite all of that, I'm still moving forward and just doing what I can, and I'm just thankful that despite all the hard times and things that I've gone through, I'm still able to bounce back from the hardships that I've gone through in my life and that I'm currently going through now. Because, like what I said, some things happen beyond our control. And I didn't know that certain things would happen in my family, with my dad and all. So, I'm just, working my life around what's currently going on now. And just still trying to just keep the faith, and just stay encouraged, because going through life, you have to be able to bounce back, from different things and situations and stuff, and just not be the type to just not be able to just glue yourself back together, when you don't get your way, when things don't go the way that you want them, when certain people don't accept you or whatnot, you have to be able to bounce back from things, be able to deal with rejection, or sudden changes in life and stuff like that. But a lot of time, many people try to control the things that they can't control, but that's one of the things that I've learned to cope with, is the fact that there are some things beyond my control, like, for example, trying to help certain individuals, who aren't really motivated to help themselves. You can't really help people like that, All you're going to end up doing is just draining your energy. People aren't going to change unless they're motivated to change themselves, and that goes for just about anything, So, yeah, you just some things you just have to let go, you know, whether it's certain people or certain situations in life, you know. Some things is beyond your control. And that's one thing that many people struggle with, because they want to be able to control other people. They want to be able to control about every aspect of their life, you know, and how things go in their life. But none of us, we're not always going to get our way all the time, you know. It's just a part of life. And when it comes to other individuals and other people are entitled to make their own choices, you know. But some people try to control other people, you know, to the point where they lose control over their own selves. They're so focused on trying to control other people, they lose control over their own selves and their own emotions, you know. But you're not always going to get your way all the time, you know. And some people, they may think that they're supposed to, and maybe it's because of how they grew up, you know. Maybe they grew up a spoiled child that always got their way all the time by their parents. I don't know. But we're not always going to get our way all the time, you know. And it's just a part of life. And you just have to respect the fact that other people are entitled to make their own choices, you know, and respect others' boundaries. But, yeah. And there's just a certain point of your life, you know, because the older you get, you know, you should be growing out of certain childish behaviors, you know, the older one gets. But some people, they just get older in age, you know. They get older in age and still have a childlike mentality, you know. But the older you get, you should grow mentally, you know, in your mind, and, you know, just be able to recuperate, you know, when you don't get your way, instead of having a fit or going into a tantrum or something, you know. But it takes a level of emotional maturity in order to do that. But yeah. So I'm just gonna get some more tea here. But you know, it's just a lot, you know, that one has to grow at, you know, through life. Personal growth and personal development is really important, you know, as one gets older in age, you know. And it's just really important to be able to adjust when in different situations and things. And to not be the type of person to have a need for controlling other people, or a need for power, or things like that, or just be one that has to seek others' approval, or be overly dependent on others' validation for your self-worth. There's different things, that one has to eventually reach a point of just growing out of, because all they do is just hold you back, And I know some of these things that I'm saying is probably hard for some people to swallow, but I just believe in just telling the truth about stuff, And I'm passionate about telling the truth because there's a lot of deception in the world, and people telling lies and trying to get over on people and all these sorts of things. There's a lot of corruption and stuff in the world, and somebody has to tell the truth, and be real, be authentic, and that's just what I believe in being. But authenticity, in some cases, makes you an enemy to some people, because everybody can't handle the potency of truth, and authenticity. And it just makes some people squirm like a roach getting sprayed by a raid or something, And I'm just saying, I just believe in being real, And if you're somebody who just gets triggered by me, by what I say in my videos and whatnot, or just somebody who just doesn't like all that I do, as an author or a writer, you think that I do too much or whatever, then my advice to you is to just stop watching me, My advice to you is to just stop watching me, unsubscribe from my channel, don't stalk my channel, don't stalk my social media or anything, Please, just unsubscribe, because you're doing yourself a disservice, by watching me out of curiosity, just to see what I say. If you get triggered by me by some way, if I make you jealous, if I make you envious, if you just annoyed by me, or you hate on me, then just don't watch it. Don't watch me. That's all you really have to do. Then you don't have to worry about being triggered by me, But I'm just saying, some people can't handle what you say but still watch your videos out of curiosity. Like, why put yourself through all of that? If you can't handle what I say, But I know there are some who appreciate what I say, I'm not talking to y'all, but if you're somebody who just gets triggered by what I say, then just, and just not about being truthful about things and stuff, and being real, then you don't want to watch my channel, Please stop watching my channel. Don't stalk my social media. Just move on with your life, instead of being fixated on mine. But, yeah, I'm just saying. Some people think that, they like you as a person or whatnot, but it's not really you that they like. It's the old version of you, not the one that you are currently. You know, they're stuck on the old version of who you used to be, not who you are now. You know? And proof of it is if they retaliate when you express yourself, and tell the truth about how you really feel about different things. If they retaliate and all of a sudden want to go into defensive mode and want to attack you just because of you speaking your truth, that goes to show right there they're not a good match for you, whether for a relationship or for a friendship. It just lets you know right there you're too much for them, and they should just leave you alone. Period. Because I am not the type of person to chase after anybody, and especially not men. I don't even think it's proper for women to chase after men. It's just backward in my opinion, And it shows that he's either insecure or he's arrogant or both. That's not how it's supposed to be. And I don't believe in chasing after people, especially people I don't even trust, people I'm not comfortable with, or people who didn't treat me right. I don't believe in chasing after anybody like that. I have more self-dignity than that, It's a lot of people that wear a mask, within society. They're always trying to keep up appearances, because of trying to impress others. Worrying so much about what others think of them. Instead of just being their authentic self. But, that's a choice that other people make. Some might be like, wondering why I'm the way that I am and stuff. Why I don't really hang around crowds and stuff too much. But honestly, ever since I was little, I've pretty much been this way. It's not really anything new, I never really was the type growing up that worried about fitting in with the crowd. I rarely ever, if ever, was like that. I've always pretty much been more of a loner growing up. So it's not really anything new. It's just the only difference is I'm more confident in myself now than what I was when I was younger. That's one of the only differences. But as far as me being in solitude more so than hanging around other people and stuff, that's nothing new. I've always pretty much been like that. And I've always been the type to not really have a whole lot of friends. People who I truly considered real friends. There's a lot of people I grew up with who are acquaintances that I know and just seen from here and there. But there's not really many people that I can say is a true friend, that I consider a true friend, because my definition of a true friend differs from some people, everybody's definition of it isn't the same, and I am just careful of who I call my friend, A lot of people aren't able to take accountability for their actions, but I just forgive them and just keep going on with my life, That's what I believe in just doing. Because it's hard to even speak to people if you don't even feel like you can trust them. Everybody can't be talked to. So in a lot of times, your best bet is to just forgive them and keep moving on with your life. Now, if I feel like I can trust somebody, then maybe I will speak to them. But if I don't, then chances are I'm just going to forgive them from the distance and just keep moving. And that's one of the reasons why I have grown to the point that I am today. That the Lord allowed me to grow at today. Many people who go through hardships, rather than them making them stronger, it makes them weaker. Different hard times that you go through life, different experiences or persecutions, people attacking you, lying on you, whatever, slandering your name, things like that. If you go through things like that, allow that to make you stronger as a person, and build you up. You have to be able to bounce back from different situations in life, and be able to just glue yourself together, not just stay broken, or just wallow around in pity waiting for somebody to rescue you. I'm just saying. I know different ones have been wondering about the whole book signing event and thing, that I had discussed in an earlier video on my writing channel. Unfortunately, it has gotten delayed, but I do still intend on doing the event, I do still intend on doing the event and for it to take place in Monroe. So, in the meantime, I've just been working on other different things, and I got an error for the Ingram Spark copies of the Pack of Freedom, so I'm going to have to make some adjustments with the covers for that. But then after that is when I can get the proof copies. But yeah, I'm just working my way around my circumstances, because like I said, some things is beyond our control. Sometimes we have to delay things, and it's just a part of life. And yeah, I'm just about progressing forward and leveling up. Some people aren't about those things, but that's what I'm about, and some people, they just get intimidated, by those who are trying to improve themselves and better themselves as a person and stuff. And some may even try to guilt you, Anybody who tries to guilt you for trying to better your life or reach your goals or whatnot, they don't really have your best interest at heart, They don't really have your best interest at heart. Those who do will be encouraging. They would want you to do better, and do well for yourself. Not try to hold you back or try to sabotage you. you know. But some people will try to do that, just to hold you back because they don't want you to get ahead. If you have goals and things that you want to do for yourself, then move toward it. Put the work in to accomplish your goals. Manage your time. Work on your organization. Do what you need to get where you want to go in life. And don't let others hold you back. It's just important to grow as a person and to heal yourself if you've dealt with certain things in your past so that they don't control your present. Because that's what a lot of people are dealing with. They still have skeletons they're dealing with in their closet, from their past. But yeah, you have to put in the work to better yourself. Do the inner work. It's more easier for a lot of people to project than to self-reflect. That's the issue with many people. Always looking at other people and pointing fingers at other people, but haven't really done very much to improve their own self. Just some advice, with the way things are in society and all of that. I really advise, don't feel like you have to follow society's clock, with people thinking that when you get to a certain age, you're supposed to already have this done or that done or the other. Everybody's time frame is different, You're not the same. And me personally, I operate in God's timing. That's why I say Lord willing a lot of the time. When I mention about an episode that I have in mind to do and getting ready to post up or something, That's why I often say Lord willing. Because we operate on borrowed time, We don't have control over time. When we go to sleep at night, we don't know if we're going to wake up the next morning. Which is why just the simple things, we shouldn't take for granted. Just being able to see the sunshine of another day. We don't have to have large, miraculous blessings, just to be blessed. Or a large amount of money in our bank account just to be blessed. Just to wake up, you're blessed. Just to see this light of another day. But sometimes with the way things are in society and productivity and people trying to get all they can get and all that type of stuff, it can make you forget about just being thankful for the simple things, To the point that you don't really know how to be content. Everything you see, you want. That's not the type of mindset that one should be. And I thank the Lord that I'm just somebody who's not materialistic, I don't believe in being materialistic or thinking that I'm better than somebody because of what I have. Because I know if you be like that, He can snatch away everything that you have when you start thinking that you're better than others and start looking down on those less fortunate than you. When He blesses you with things, you're supposed to be humble with them. That's how we're supposed to be. But some people, they don't really know how to handle things when they get stuff. They look down on others, mock others, tease others, whatever. But the Lord doesn't bless us for that. For us to look down on others and make fun of them and all those types of things. I am not a rich, wealthy person, but I do have some riches, and that's wisdom. Because it's important to have wisdom in life and how you function through life, because it just can make things go better for you. A person can have money but not know how to use their money. A person can have money but not use it wisely. Spend it irresponsibly. Get stuff they don't even need. Causing them to get into debt. It's one thing to have money, but it's another to be able to use it wisely. To be wise with wealth. Because if one isn't, it can cause one's destruction, when you're not wise with your wealth. But, yeah, it's just important to have wisdom and be able to know how to adjust with different situations, what to avoid, be able to discern, between good and evil when it comes to different types of people and stuff, because there's all kinds of people in this world, and everybody doesn't have the best of intentions for you, and you just have to be careful of who you trust. Because even Satan can come as an angel of light, like it talks about in the scriptures. And women today, you have to be really careful when it comes to different types of men. Because there are some who will try to take advantage of you. And take advantage of you. Like it talks about in one verse about a man who hangs his head down sadly, but inwardly he is full of mischief. You have to be careful. Some men just want you to feel sorry for them. And you having sympathy toward them just makes you easy prey, for him to use you. Don't go after fellows that are like somebody off an assembly line, that needs a lot of work done on them. Like, it's better to just, just not settle for less, than what you deserve. But also make sure that any potential partner or whatever, that he does have good character, because there is some who can portray this confident outward exterior, but he's a narcissist. Because that's how some of them are. They can appear confident and whatnot, but internally they lack self-esteem. They have an inflated ego, but they lack self-esteem. That's not a good recipe either. You just have to use your discernment, your spiritual discernment amongst people when it comes to relationships and with friendships too, And just Be careful, you know. But I know I'm too much for some people, you know, and that's why I don't waste my time, you know, chasing after other individuals and stuff like that, or trying to fit in, you know. I just be myself, you know, and primarily rely on the Lord, you know. I always call Him my ultimate best friend, because I don't have to worry about Him turning on me or slandering me, you know, or lying on me or gossiping about me, making fun of me, you know. I don't have to worry about Him doing those things like other people. I just keep my circle small, you know, and just focus on striving to better myself as a person. Um, and any friendships that I develop or have, you know, I prefer them to be those that I can connect with on a deeper level, you know, who I can confide in and trust, you know. That's when you have a genuine friend. When you can tell something personal to an individual and you don't have to worry about them spreading it around or telling other people, you know. That's one of the signs anyways of having a genuine friend. Especially if you tell something to somebody, you know, you separate and years go by, you interact with that individual, reunite with them again, ask them about that thing that you told them. If they say they never told anybody after a number of years, 2 years, 10 years, whatever, that's rare. Most people aren't like that. You know, that's when you have somebody that's authentic, who can keep things to themselves, you know, even if it's from family. Because that's pretty much the type of person that I am. It doesn't matter if, you know, it has to do with family or whatever. I still believe in keeping things if a person tells me to. And in some cases, they don't even have to tell me. It's just I perceive it as something that's personal that they're telling me, you know. So I automatically just don't say anything. But yeah, I believe in respecting others' boundaries, you know, and I can say that I am somebody who can be trusted, you know, and know how to keep things to myself. That others tell me or that I discuss with a person, you know, because there's some things that I have discussed with certain individuals that my family don't even know about, you know. I never told them. It just takes, you know, growing as a person, you know, in order to reach certain levels and be able to be certain ways and to emotionally mature, to be able to bounce back, adjust to changes, you know, still be able to smile, even despite going through hard times, you know. Those that can do that, are just special people. To still be able to do that despite having a rotten day, you know. Because everybody can't do that, you know. I know oftentimes I've done that, and others don't even know. Seconds ago, I just cried. You know. But it just takes a level of maturity and emotional resilience, Emotional resilience and mental strength to be able to recuperate despite the different things that you go through in life without just taking your pain out on other people. Because that's what a lot of people do, They don't know how to regulate their emotions. They lack emotional regulation. So every time they're in a bad mood, they take it out on somebody else. It's not a good way to go through life like that. You have to be able to keep your emotions under control without losing your cool over almost every little thing. And have anger management. For certain individuals to want you to be sad, want you to be depressed, want you to not feel good about yourself, want you to be dependent on them for your self-worth. It's not the best people to be dealing with, individuals like this. Individuals who just want to hold you back. Some men, they want you to be weak, They want you to be weak. They don't want you to feel confident about yourself. They want you to have low self-esteem because it'll make them feel more better about themselves. That's not the best ones to be dealing with, especially if you're a young lady who's trying to elevate and better herself, because all you're going to do is make him feel insecure. And he may try to hold you back, and sabotage your progress in life. I just know my self-worth. I refuse to just settle for less or what I don't deserve, And if anybody, like I said earlier, is triggered by me or just doesn't like the fact of all that I have in mind to do, as an author and, all of the ambitions and goals and stuff that I have, well, then stop watching the channels and unsubscribe, because I really don't plan on changing anytime soon, As I know the Lord did not bless me to have all the gifts and talents that I have for nothing, for me just to sit on them. I don't plan on changing anytime soon. I have a purpose that I'm working toward. Because he talks about those with talents and stuff. in the scriptures and those that don't use them, But I'm using mine, instead of just letting them go to waste. And I just advise others to do the same. Stay encouraged if you deal with setbacks or delays, and still keep moving forward despite them. And just do what you can. And don't give up. I want to continue to progress forward in my personal growth and development. I don't intend on pedaling backward. Some people, when you grow as a person, they want you to go back to the old version of yourself, because that's what makes them feel comfortable, because when you elevate, you just remind them of what they're not doing, A lot of things I've just outgrew, certain different past behaviors and things, and not to put myself on a pedestal or anything like that, but some people I've outgrew too, That's why some don't understand me anymore. Those that want to improve themselves and grow as a person and go after your goals and things, my advice is just to stay encouraged and to keep working, toward whatever it is that you're trying to do. Don't allow others to discourage you, no matter who it is, family, friends, whomever, Because, sorry to say, in some cases it's your own family, that is being discouraging to you, instead of being supportive. But, just stay encouraged and just keep moving forward, and don't worry about comparing yourselves to other people. That's just a distraction. It's like what some say about writers. Don't compare your first chapter to a best-selling author's 50th novel, Move at your own pace, take your time, and just focus on bettering yourself rather than where somebody else is in life, Don't worry about competition, If it's something that you enjoy doing, focus more so on just having fun with what it is, Whether it's being a writer, an artist, being a cook, whatever it is. Just focus on enjoying the craft or whatever it is that you like to do. And focus on just trying to be better each day. And commend yourself for the things that you get done, Sometimes we get on ourselves about what we didn't get done, I didn't do this, I didn't do the other, whatever. But commend yourself for the simple things, If you're someone that's dealt with depression, commend yourself for just getting out of bed in the morning, Because some people depressed, they can't even do that. They can't get out of bed, they can't take a shower, They're so depressed they just stay in bed all day long, But if you can At least get out of bed in the morning. At least get up and take a shower, get yourself dressed. You know, get breakfast in the morning. The simple tasks that you do during the day to look after and take care of yourself. Commend yourself for that. You know, or just getting some exercise in that you've been putting off. You know, for going for a walk. If you're in college or something, getting that essay done. You know, it doesn't have to be big major things. You know, commend yourself for the small things that you're able to do and get done. It's really important, you know, to keep a positive outlook on life, even when things don't go as you had hoped. You know, to still be positive. To pick yourself up and dust yourself off. You know, and just still be able to go on with your life. You know. If you deal with rejection from other people, you know, still be able to recuperate without losing your mind or losing your wits or going crazy. You know, to be able to bounce back and be like, well, I accept myself, you know. I accept myself for who I am. You know, things didn't work out with this situation. Maybe they will with something else. You know, not feel like your life is over just because of an individual rejected you. Or somebody doesn't want to be your friend. You know. But still be able to go on with your life. And you have to be open-minded too, you know. Because a mistake that many people make is they perceive other people the way that they think themselves, you know. And that's not the way that one should go through life, you know, judging people based on how you think and how you feel, because everybody doesn't feel or think the way that you do. You know, for example, if you're somebody who gets arrogant and boastful and all of that when you get materialistic possessions, that doesn't mean somebody else is going to be the same way, you know, if they get blessed with certain things. But that's what some people think, you know. Some people know how to handle what they're given without allowing that to control them or make them think they're better than others. Some people know how to treat possessions without them possessing them. But many people perceive you the way that they are themselves. You know, and that's the mistake that many people make. Which just causes them to misjudge you, get confused, you know, because of you not acting the way that they thought you would. Because they're judging you based on their own thoughts and feelings. But human perception is multifaceted, as I often say. You know, everybody's worldviews and perceptions isn't the same. Hang in there and stay encouraged and hold on, you know. Don't let others break your spirit. If you're an individual who's dealt with suicide ideations or anything like that, don't take your life. You know, things happen, things don't always go the way that we want them, but our lives hold value, you know. Everybody's life holds value. Don't let the enemy convince you there's nothing to live for, you know. Because there's no hope if you take your life, you know. But I guess this ends this Tea Talk video. I know it was super long, but you know, I just go on rambling about different things and think out loud, and just, I guess, pour out just different things and advice and whatnot that I can offer to people. And maybe some things I mentioned was eye-opening or was helpful to someone, you know. But that's all that I have for this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more future videos on my Arthur channel. And thank you for watching.